Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions, a card game, we go on to Scenario 3 against Mysterio using Spider-Ham and the Spider Suit. So down at the table, before we get into Mysterio, we'll go into the campaign instructions here. So we're going to put the Venom ally card into play under the first player's control. So he comes in with a thwart of 2, attack of 3, 6 health. In response, after you reveal an encounter card, deal 1 damage to Venom. Deal damage to an enemy equal to the number of icons in that card's boost area, but it does get us an extra encounter card as long as he's in play. We still have the Public Outcry. We also had the Smear campaign, which I've already shuffled in there, and we're also adding Snitches Get Stitches. I've already picked a random community service card, and for our follow-up setup instructions, we're going to get an additional threat per player. We've got our Osborne Tech, and each of us is going to get an extra minion starting the game. So for Mysterio, he's got a Scheme of 2, attack of 1, Seeds of Fear. As a force response after you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation. Place that card in your discard pile if it has the illusion trait and starts with 15 health per player. We are coming in with the Whispers of Paranoia and Personal Nightmare modular sets. And setup, we're going to put a shifting apparition minion into play engage with each player, which means we're going to get 2 of those each. And those guys are Scheme of 1, attack of 1, 1 health. They have guard, and when defeated, if this minion was defeated with excess damage, the defeating player shuffles the top card of the encounter deck into their deck. And then on the first main scheme, threshold of 8 per player. Forced Interrupt, when you would draw or discard an encounter card from your deck, deal it to yourself as a face-down encounter card, and then draw a card, and this comes in with 2 threat per player, plus our additional 1 because of the reputation track. And for a hero setup, haven't changed anything, so Spider-Ham, thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 1. Each tune counter on him can be spent as if it were a wild resource. And after he takes any amount of damage, place a tune counter on him, hand size of 5, health of 12. Alter Ego, recovery of 5. As a response, after you make a basic recovery, place a tune counter on Peter Porker. Hand size of 6 on this side, and he still has his retinal display, giving him +1 thwart. And our basic thwarts ignore the crisis icon. But when we use our basic thwart power, we can only remove threat from the scheme with the most threat. And then aggression. Got a power aggression ×2, combat training, counterattack, battle fury, 3 relentless assaults, 3 uppercuts, 3 piercing strikes, then Marvel Boy, Spider-Girl, Tigra, and Throg. And for basic cards, we have our 3 double resources, Ghost Spider, Scarlet Spider, 2 team building exercises, and I chose to bring in Clarity of Purpose. So attached to a friendly character, max 1 per character as a hero resource. Exhaust this card and deal damage to the attached character to generate a wild resource. And then for our Spider Suit and Penny Parker, it's got 2 for thwart, attack, and defense as a hero. As a resource, we can exhaust an interfaced upgrade we control to generate that upgrade's resources. Hand size is 3, hit points of 14. And as Alter Ego, recovery of 4. Setup, we get the Spider Suit into play and active side face up. And maintenance, as an Alter Ego action, exhaust the Spider Suit to draw 2 cards, hand size of 4 on this side. And with Justice, we've got Sense of Justice, Under Surveillance, Skilled Investigator, Spycraft, Justice Served, Heroic Intuition, 2 Overwatches, 3 Multitasking, 3 Clear the Areas, then Spider-Man, Lady Spider, Agent Coulson, and Spider-Woman. And basics, got our 3 double resources, Spider-Man Otto Octavius, Peter Parker, Hobby Brown, Web of Life and Destiny, and we're bringing in Silk from Protection. All right, finish shuffling up our encounter deck. Then we're going to get 4 cards for Penny Parker. And she does have an extra mulligan if needed. So starting with her 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skilled Investigator, Spider-Woman, Overwatch, and Sense of Justice. Pitching all 4 of those. Compressor we'll keep. Pitch those 3. 1, 2, 3. Web of Life and Destiny, Lady Spider, and Spider-Man. Then over here, 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Power of Aggression, Hogwash, Combat Training, Wooden Hammer, Uppercut, and Tigra. We'll keep Power of Aggression. Pitching everything else. Spider Girl, another power, Scarlet Spider, Clarity of Purpose, and Team Building. We'll take an ally, I guess. I want the Team Building. We'll pitch these two. Cartoon Physics and Genius. Alright, first thing we're doing here is exhaust our suit to draw 2 cards. Clear the area and all systems go. We're going to pitch a card to get 3 counters. Then go ahead and flip over. We're now Web Warrior, so ignore this card's resource cost if your identity has a Web Warrior trait. So response, after a Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. That player draws a card. We're going to use that as a resource. Search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to our hand. Go looking for our host spider. And yeah, we're pitching one of our interfaces to bring this in. So exhaust this to ready our spider suit. Then we're going to attack for 2, which is excessive damage. So we're going to shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into our deck. And after your hero attacks, remove a dark counter, deal a damage to an enemy. And we're down 2 of those. Venom is going to thwart for 2. Then we're going to Peter Porker. He's just going to flip over, attack for 1. Bring in Team Building Exercise. Hero action, exhaust this, play a card from your hand that shares a trait with your hero, reducing its resource cost by 1. Then we'll go ahead and bring in Spider Girl, thwart 1, attack for 2, 2 health. After you play her from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. Then thwart for 1. Use that to reduce the cost of a cartoon card. So Cartoon Physics. When your identity would take any amount of damage, discard this card, wiggle your body and prevent all but 1 of that damage. And we'll end our turn. We're going to keep Clarity. Swinging Web Pig, Relentless Assault, Organic Webbing, and Piercing Strike. And over here, clear the area, all systems go, and multitasking. 3 threat. Getting attacked over here. I'm just going to take it for 1 damage. Getting attacked over here. Just going to take it for 1. When revealed, Deja Vu. Choose to either take a damage or place a threat on the main scheme. We're going to take a damage. Gets us a tune counter. Then shuffle this into any player's deck. Spider Ham is going to be any player for Deja Vus. Then we got hit for 1. Down to 10. Get another counter. This guy loses a stunned. And counter cards +1 thanks to Venom. Alright. Evil Doppelganger. Scheme of 1, attack of 1, 5 health. And let me make sure none of these were an illusion coming out. Yep, we're good there. Alright, scheme of 1, attack of 1, 5 health. Gets +X, scheme and attack, where X is equal to the number of identity-specific cards in the engaged player's hand. And it's got 3 icons, so we're going to use his ability. After revealing a counter card, deal a damage to Venom. Deal damage to an enemy equal to the number of icons in that card's boost area. So down to 27. Then search encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for your Nemesis minion. Then reveal that minion. Attach Old Grudge to it. It's going to give him +1 hit point. And that is Morbius, Schema 2, attack of 2, 6, now 7 health. After the engaged hero generates any number of resources, deal an equal amount of damage to that hero. And we're going to take another damage. Put 3 damage there. Oops. All right, then on this side, Inherited Burden. Things are not going good for Spider Suit. Give to Penny Parker. May flip to Alter Ego. We will. Exhaust Penny Parker and remove this from the game. Then pass first player. Team building. Organic webbing. So this is going, well, in 1 token here. Spider-Ham gets +1 thwart. Exhaust this and remove a tune counter from him to ready Spider-Ham. It gains the aerial trait till the end of the phase. We're going to use this to bring in Clarity of Purpose. Attach to a friendly character, max 1 per character. Hero resource, exhaust this card, deal a damage to attached character to generate a wild resource. We're going to go ahead and do that. So down to 9. Generate a resource. That's providing us 1. We're doing a Relentless Assault with Overkill. 5 damage to a minion. It's got 4 left here. 1 breaks through. And Public Outcry is okay with what we're doing now. So we've got a victory point there. Let's see here. We now have a thwart of 4. Bring that down to 2. Spend a token to ready. I'm going to go ahead and finish this little guy off. And then have her attack to put 2 damage up here. Then over here we'll have Venom attack to finish the doppelganger off. Draw 2 cards. Aunt May and Uncle Ben and Justice Served. We'll go ahead and bring in Aunt May and Uncle Ben. So as an action, we can exhaust this, discard the top 2 cards of your deck, top 3 instead if you're in Alter Ego form. Add each spider card discarded this way to your hand. So 1, 2, and 3. Get a Web Trap and Spider Command. Then we will flip over and ready. All systems go to ready each interface upgrade we control. Go ahead and attack for 2, down to 24. Then we'll use... Get rid of Spider Command for clear the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. To Ejection Protocol. Use that as a resource for a Web Trap. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using our Sync Ratio ability, which we did, stun that enemy. So 19 and stunned. Then we were ready and attack for 2 more. Down to 17. And end our turn. I'm going to keep this over here, so another Clarity of Purpose, Piercing Strike, Ghost Spider, and Relentless Assault. Heroic Intuition, All Systems Go, and Spider-Man. 2 threat. Attacking over here, lose stunned. Attacking over here. We're going to have Venom take it. For 1, give him additional boost. And that's an illusion, so that's going down here. And Venom is out. And counter cards. I really want a hot dog. You may flip to Alter Ego, exhaust Peter Porker, and remove a tune counter from him to remove this from the game. Or you're stunned. If you're already stunned, this card gains Surge. Discard this obligation. We don't have any tokens, so we're going to get stunned. Discard an upgrade or support you control. That's a bummer. It's going to be Ant-Man Uncle Ben. Surge. When revealed, discard your hand and draw up to a new hand size. So discarding those 3. 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man, Genius, and Multitasking. And Illusion of Collusion. Attach your identity. Cannot ready allies or persona support you control. It's an alter ego action. Discard an ally or persona support you control to discard this card. And pass first player. Alright, we're going to attack for 2. Down to 15. And we're going to play Spider-Man. Requirement is we need to spend energy, mental, and physical. There's our physical, mental. We'll use this wild down here as the energy. So he comes in with 4 to 2, attack for 2, 3 health. Response after he attacks or thwarts, choose another Web Warrior character. Steady that character. We'll go ahead and attack for 2. Down to 13, which will ready there. Then we'll go ahead and attack for 2, down to 11. Exhaust that to ready. Attack for 2, down to 9. Then on this side, we will attack to get rid of stunned. Do some team building. Take a damage to create a resource. For a swinging web pig, deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse them. So down to 3. And confused. Then we'll just do a piercing strike for 3 damage to finish off this version of Mysterio. So version 2, when revealed in player order, shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into each player's deck. So 1 there and 1 over there. So Spider Suit is shuffled up. And Spider-Ham getting shuffled up. Alright, now the ability, after you resolve a boost card during its activation, place that card on the bottom of your deck if it has the illusion trait and 34 health. And I think I'm just going to ready, flip over and heal. And get her token back. And call that around. Oops, he can't ready. Alright, 3 cards. 2, 3, rapid deployment under surveillance and Agent Coulson. And over here, a web pig, strength, Americat, team building, relentless assault, and an uppercut. 2 threat. Attacking over here, we're going to take it for 1, 2, just 2. Down to 11. Attacking over, or scheming over here, loses confused. Grab some encounter cards. Surge, discard your hand and draw up to your hand size. There's our Surge. 3 cards. Silk, clear the area, and some energy. Discard cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards in your hand. If at least one identity-specific card was discarded this way, place a threat on the main scheme. If not, we take a damage. 1, 2, 3. So we're adding a threat to the scheme. And Rebel Rescue. Surge. Got a victory point. When a character makes a basic thwart against his side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. Comes in with 10 threat. And the villain's going to attack us. We'll take it for 1, 2, 5. Ouch. Down to 6. Then we'll work on this side. Let's see. Take a damage or place a threat. We'll take the damage. Whoops. Down to 11. Shuffle that in. See if another one's coming up, though. Nope. We'll go ahead and shuffle before we reveal the Fool's Paradise. Victory 1. Each identity gets +2 hand size. Got all the nasty symbols and 6 threat per player on it. All right, pass first player. We're going to flip over, do some team building, along with hitting herself to take a damage, to create a resource, which gets us a tune counter. Swinging Web Pig, deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. It's down to 28. Confused. We're thwarting for 4. Has to be off the one with the most. Then we'll discard a token to ready. Bring in Captain Americat. Thwart a 2, attack of 2, 3 health. After your enters play, give someone a high five. High five, bro. Place a tune counter on your identity. And shuffle a Spider-Ham card from your discard pile into your deck. And I've been liking the Swinging Web Pig. Then he's going to thwart for 2. And we're going to thwart for 4 more. So we've got 5, 8, and 8. We took that one down to 4. And I'll go ahead and bring in another team building exercise with these 2 tokens. Okay, over here we're going to thwart for 2. And ready and thwart for 2. So we took care of that. We're going to bring in Silk, thwart 1, attack of 1, 2 health. After you play it from your hand, if you control another Web Warrior card, search the encounter deck for treachery and discard it. Got 2 Web Warriors. Shadows of the Past can get gone. Then thwart for 1. Use that as a resource to clear the area, to remove 2 threat. Then we're going to flip over and discard an ally we control to discard that card. And it was a Web Warrior, so after he leaves play, choose a player. That player draws a card. We'll pick herself for a Psychic Link. And we will keep that and end her turn. All right. Spider-Man, Overwatch, and counter card and shuffling. We've got one more card coming to us. And that's going to be Sense of Justice. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think so. Cartoon Physics, Throg, Energy, and Battle Fury. So 2 threats. Attacking over here. For 1, 2, 3, it's an illusion, so it goes on the bottom of our deck now. Down to 7. Grab a token. Scheming over here, loses Confused. And counter cards. Deja Vu, we're going to take the damage. Down to 6. Grab a token and shuffle that back in. And the villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. Attacking us for base 2, 3, 4. It's an illusion. We're just going to take 1, so leave wiggle. Down to 5. Then on this side, Deja Vu. We'll add a threat and shuffle it in over here. And Public Outcry is not in play. Place 2 threat on the main scheme. And pass first player. We're going to heal for 4. Up to 10. Let's go ahead and draw 2 cards. All systems go in strength. Go ahead and flip over. Use that to ready. Bring in a Psychic Link. When we make a basic thwart, we can exhaust this to get +2 for that thwart. Play Overwatch on the main scheme. When any amount of threats removed from that scheme by a thwart, discard this, remove an equal amount of threat from a different scheme. We're going to thwart for 4. Which will remove 4 from that one. Then all systems go. Ready each interface upgrade we control. And then use that to ready our spider suit. Then use these 2 as resources for Spider-Man. Play only if you control a Web Warrior card. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, ready an upgrade you control, which is going to be our host spider. If it was attack, we would draw a card, but it's not. Then we will thwart for 2. Spider-Man will attack for 2. Down to 26. Oops, this one's in play. And after he attacks, he's going to ready our spider suit, who will attack for 2. Down to 24. Then use that to ready, attack for 2 again, down to 22. And we're going to use this guy to thwart for 1. Then over here, thwart for 4. Gets us a victory point and a community service completed. Discard a card to ready. Do some team building to bring in some more cartoon physics. Bring in Throg. Thwart 1, attack for 2, 2 health. After he enters play, give him a tough status. If we're engaged with a minion, we are not. He'll just come in and attack for 2. Along with Americat attacking for 2. So down to 18. Then we're going to take a damage, create a resource, play some Battle Fury. So play under any player's control. After your hero attacks and defeats a minion, deal damage to your hero to discard Battle Fury. We'll play that on this side. Then we're going to flip over and heal for 5. So up to 9. And that gets us another tune counter. And I think that's going to end her turn. Ready everything up. Since I'm alter ego, I'll go ahead and discard. I don't think so. And over here, 1, 2, 3. Multitasking, Overwatch, and rapid deployment. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. And 6. Marvel Boy, counterattack, ham it up, petulant pig, ham it up, and another pig. 2 threat. Attacking over here. Otto's going to jump in the way, so base 2, 3, 4 damage. Web Warrior goes away. We're going to choose ourselves to draw a card. Spider-Woman comes in. Scheming over here for 2. Just 2. Deal out some encounter cards. Just 5 over there. First one, Evil Doppelganger. Induced Panic, attach your identity, cannot resolve triggered abilities. On our printed hero box, alter ego action, discard an identity specific card at random from her hand to discard that. Then Deja Vu, we'll take the damage. It shuffles back in. No, I'm going to wait to shuffle until I see what else we have here. Surge, attach to the villain. Reduce the amount of damage he takes from each attack by 1. It's a hero action. Give him a tough status and a face down boost to discard it. Surges into, when you would deal any amount of damage to Mysterio, discard the top 4 cards of your deck instead. +1 thwarting. We'll take another damage and shuffle that in. Down to 7. And now he's got +3 attack. Spend a resource of any type. Shuffle 2 cards of the top of the encounter deck into your deck. All right. I was thinking I was going to finish him this turn, but with this change of events, maybe not. So pass first player. We're going to get our identity specific cards, and we're losing one of our ham it ups. To get rid of that, then we're going to go ahead and heal for 5 up to 12. And flip over. Then we're going to ham it up to remove a threat from a scheme for each toon counter we have, which is 4. Spend 1 to ready. We're going to bring in counterattack. So after you take damage from an enemy attack, discard this, deal an equal amount of damage to that enemy. Then we're going to attack for 1. To get rid of this, so we're going to discard 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go there. Then we'll draw Swinging Web Pig and an Uppercut. Then we'll draw 2 cards into a Swinging Web Pig and a Piercing Strike. Then we're going to have Mysterio attack us. So we're sticking our tongue out. Villain attacks you, then we draw 3 cards. So he's coming for 5. Just 5 damage. Down to 7. We're going to counterattack. Which is only going to do 4. Then we're going to draw 3 cards. Clarity of Purpose. Finally found our Daily Beagle. Get an encounter card. We still have 1 more card coming. Power of Aggression. We went through a deck over here. Acceleration. Did I see a blue card in there? That shouldn't be. All right. Then as a hero action, we will give him a tough status and a face down boost. Then a piercing strike, deal 3 damage to an enemy. His attack gains piercing, so we take off the tough first. Down to 11. We're going to do the petulant pig again. Sticking out our tongue. Throg's going to defend, so a base 5 damage comes his way and he's out. And we'll draw 3 cards. Relentless Assault, Uppercut, and an Uppercut. We'll play a Relentless Assault, dealing 5 damage to a minion. We will team building, take a damage to create a resource and get a tune counter. Swinging Web Pig, deal 6 damage to an enemy, and oh yes, forgot when that guy got attacked. He got an additional boost. Didn't matter anything. Throg took it all. Alright, so back to this attack. 6 damage and confuse. Down to 5. Confused. Poor Spider Suit's just sitting over there. Spending 2 tokens along with the Marvel Boy to deal 5 damage to an enemy. And that's going to finish him off. Of course, we still had Americat. And Penny still to go, but definitely able to take out Mysterio there. So for follow-up or victory, we're going to do the conditions section. Community service, we did do the Rebel Rescue, so we'll mark that. Count the total number of illusion cards in all player decks and record that in the Waking Nightmare section. So go through our deck and see how many encounter cards we have. Fortunately, those got out pretty easy. 1 orange. And that is an illusion, so that's 1. And on this side, one. All right, so we're going to have 2 in that section. For our conditions victory display, we had a total of 3. No minions in play takes us to 4. No side schemes is 5. No threat on the main scheme is 6. Fewer than 1 per player acceleration tokens is 7. And no defeated identities takes us to 8. And we were at 11 before, so now we're at 19. Which means we flip our shield tech to its enhanced side. So on this one, now when we remove a dark counter, deal 1 damage to up to 2 different enemies. And for this, hero gets +2 thwart, and your hero's basic thwarts ignore the crisis icon and the patrol keyword. So nice upgrades there. And moving on, each player chooses 1 card from their deck, then records the title of that card in their planning ahead section of the campaign log. For setup, each player searches their deck and discard pile for a copy of that card and adds it to their hand. Well, I think that's going to be obvious for these. It's going to be our host spider, wherever I put that. And over here, it's going to be our organic webbing. Negative things. Get an additional Osborne Tech attachment. So bringing those in, give them a quick shuffle, see what else nastiness we're going to get. We're getting an arm cannon. Attach the villain. Attach villain's attacks, gain overkill and piercing. Hero action, discard the highest cost upgrade you control, discard this card. Ouch. Anything but that would have been nice. And for setup, first player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a scenario-specific side scheme, then reveal it. Place additional threat per player on that side scheme. And with that, our next battle is going to be against the Sinister Six. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.